All right, guys, welcome to our 2 Cent Podcast, episode 4. If you missed episode 3, we briefly spoke about our first date and some other topics. So please go back, check that out on YouTube. Type in our 2 Cent Podcast on YouTube, on Facebook, Instagram, our 2 Cent Podcast, and you should be able to find us. Just look for the salt and pepper people in the picture.
And subscribe.
Subscribe, like, leave comments, do whatever you need to do to keep in contact with us so we can go back and forth and speak about things in the relationship and this marriage. So today we're going to cover. I'll let you take that.
Our differences in our marriage. So
It's a lot of
when we first got together, we were pretty much opposites.
You still opposite, but go ahead.
Well, yeah, we're still opposites. We had a lot of things that were not in common. Clearly, you can see our race is the first thing.
Mm-hmm.
I am Hispanic.
I am a shaded tan. What's it? African American.
Mm-hmm. You're black.
I'm black.
He had a son. I didn't have any kids yet.
Mm-hmm.
Our backgrounds growing up were totally different. I came from a family who I had a mom and dad. I had brothers and sisters. We all lived in the same household. So I had structure. Well, I had structure in my home. I had everybody together. You didn't have that, so.
No, I didn't. So I came from a single family home. My mom raised us, 3 boys, and it was just me and my mom. And then my stepdad was there for a little, but he wasn't around that long. So probably 8 years with him. Then after that, it's just my mother and my brothers.
Another thing we didn't have in common were finances. He's a big spender.
Yes.
And I like to save money. And then.
Well, my background allowed me to spend more than the average person. I always worked 2 jobs. I always did something extra on the side for those who knows what extra on the side means. So I felt like if I got it and I knew it was coming back the next day, then there was no need for me to keep it. So I could spend it all in one day and get it back the next day.
Well, that wasn't my mindset. Even if I had it, I wouldn't spend it.
Right.
So also our 5 love languages. If you don't know about that, like Google it, look it up. We all have ones that we fall into, and it's good to know what you like,
Yeah.
what you accept as love, and what you give out to other people. So we were totally different on that, and that was hard to accept because since they're so different, I'm loving him the way I want to be loved, and then vice versa. He was doing the same.
Yeah.
And that's not what you're supposed to do.
Well, early on, I don't know if I was loving at all early on. Let me see this list. Let me get into this list. We got some time. So race wise, how was it difficult dealing with a black person or a black guy? But that was your norm, right? You dated black guys before me.
Yeah. So for me, it wasn't very difficult. I like your kind of.
Yeah, she only likes black people, which is. I guess
but it was because that's really what I only attracted. I mean, most people thought I was mixed. I was a light-skinned black person. I rarely got people that knew I was Hispanic, so it was kind of not a big, large pool.
Did you speak Spanish on a regular basis? How would they just assume you was black? You didn't use your.
No, I wasn't speaking Spanish to them. They didn't speak Spanish, so.
Okay. That could be a turn off for black guys, though. You speak another language. You ain't got to speak the language, and it'd be Spanish. So what about for me? I dealt with a Spanish girl in middle school, but it was I'm in middle school, so it's not a big deal. And I dealt with a Spanish girl in elementary school, but elementary and middle school to me those really don't count. The most thing you're doing is tongue kissing. You're just kissing, so it's not like no real relationship, no real communication. I go with her. That's all it was. So. I had no idea or no interest in Spanish women at all until my brother came around with his Spanish girl, and it was like, oh, she got friends, but you know how brothers are. If, I want to knock all races down. When you're young, that's the truth. Like most guys, want to conquer the mountain, and conquering the races is conquering the mountain, which is wrong when you're immature to how you think. But when we met, she was so much different from the black girl I was with that I had the child with. That I needed something totally different what I was dealing with, and our relationship was like a light at the end of the tunnel from the situation I was dealing with. As far as kids, did you want kids before we got together?
No, I didn't want kids. I didn't want to get married. Heck, I didn't even want a relationship anymore.
Well, who are you?
I just wanted to have some fun. I was in college. Gosh, I was 19 when I met you. None of that was on my mind. What was on my mind was finishing school, getting a good job, traveling, saving up. Really, marriage and kids was not on my agenda at all. Like, I didn't want it.
It was on mine. So I had my son. Excuse me. I had my son before he came along, and I always wanted 3 kids. I always wanted a boy, girl, boy, and I got exactly that. So even if she didn't want kids, if we was gonna be together, it was gonna happen anyway. That was my plan. So I had my oldest son, which was junior. My son, he's named after me because he's junior. And then I had my daughter Ariel, and then we had our son Levi. Now the shop is closed down. No more kids, no more nothing. We're done. And this is our last child right here. So lucky midnight is the last child. No more babies. Unless you want another one.
Absolutely not. I don't even want this one.
Oh man, disrespectful. And background. So like she said, as far as the background, she grew up with her mom, her dad, her sisters, all in one house. I didn't really meet my dad till I was 12, I think. 12? Yeah. Maybe 10. Like between 10 and 12, my mother got in contact with him through one of my aunts, and I started going over his house. Even though saw him, I didn't really spend any time with him. He would pick me up and drop me off at his girlfriend's house, and then he'll be out and about. So even when I went over there for the weekends, I never really saw him like that. So that was and when we got together though, dealing with her family, first of all, I never saw any family that operated the way they operated. Like they all was like super loving, super affectionate, touchy-feely. Like the brother used to massage the dad's shoulders and scratch his back. I thought that was so weird. I'm like, why is these 2 grown men in here wrestling and playing with each other? Like yeah, they throw me off. I was like, I don't know what's going on in this house. But that was I've never seen it, so it kind of just, rubbed me the wrong way. But it also showed me that I can be affectionate with my son and kind of wrestle and play with him, show him love and stuff like that. So that helped me a lot when it came to seeing how a dad can be still a dad, but still be emotional with his kids. You want to add anything to the background?
No, I mean, just with my background, I mean, like I said, I had a family and everything. I grew up with my mom and dad, and that was my structure. That's what I thought a family should be like. So when he told me his background, it was just, I could see we were opposites in that.
Yeah.
And he wasn't on the same level I was. And I know when he used to come around my family, I know he was weirded out by them and acted all funny.
Yeah. She had cousins that used to bring like guitars and stuff like that for every family event and just play instruments and just sing songs. Like with improv songs. Like we all just sitting there having a good time, and they'll grab the guitar and just start playing and singing songs. And then everyone in the room would sing. And I would just sit there like, hey, this is the weirdest thing I ever saw in my life. But now I grew to like it. So now we have events. I'm like, tell them bring the guitar, let everybody sing. But it was strange to see it. But this is what makes it funnier. She grew up with all types of family, close knit, everybody loved each other, but didn't want one. I didn't have it at all, and I wanted one. That's crazy and strange right there. That
Oh yeah, that is.
everything she had at home, I was pressed to have, and everything I had at home, she wanted, which is being by herself. Was people different.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't mind me saying, I would be kind of remiss to not speak about her father, who's passed away. My man Ray Ray, who we love dearly, has passed away. But that man, I admired him, honored him. He was a great guy. Just straight up gave everything he could for his family. Yeah. And I would feel funny if we were to leave the video talking about family and not mention that, just to send out blessings and prayers to Ray Ray. He's gone, but he's not forgotten. He's around the house, around everywhere. Great man. That's just saying the least about him. Was a great man. But I just wanted to say it before we move past, if you didn't mind. You want to say something? We good?
Yeah. Right. I just hope he's in his grave and not around here, please.
I mean, what I mean. In spirit, he's around here in spirit. He needs to be around here helping put some of the stuff together. But, in spirit, in spirit. And he also did our basement, so you'll see that soon too. Finances. How are your finances now? How you about spending money?
I mean, I still like saving. When he gets extra money, though, I like spending his money.
Ain't no such thing as extra money. Don't care. Or don't let no wife tell you there's such thing as extra money. They believe since it's not an income check, or since it's not a check coming in, that's extra money. No, that's not the case. All money goes to the house. all money goes to the house. There's no extra money. Because the minute you have it, she finds something else she want to buy. Hence all these decorations around my house for no reason, all these extra pillows and
Oh, please, you like
$1,000 dogs and stuff like that.
What?
You know, we didn't pay $1,000 for him. He was $1,000
You
dog.
wanted him.
Yeah, I don't want him anymore though, but it's fine. I love him now. He stays, but I didn't want him 2 days ago, but he's good now. All right, love languages. How many love languages do you have?
So I'm super affectionate and
Say it one more time.
like super affectionate.
Yeah, add one more super to it.
Like really super. Like I will kiss him. Like I will be asleep, wake up, and just kiss him for no reason.
Yeah, like I'm talking about affection to where she wants to hold hands in the bed.
To go to sleep
If
while
I'm
we're
in-
sleeping.
If I'm in the grocery store having a conversation, she'll kiss me in the middle of a conversation with somebody, or just grab my hand in the middle of the conversation. So what she calls affection, I call irritating. So she's super affectionate, and I be super
Annoyed.
irritated and annoyed because I don't need affection.
And then my next one would be spending time.
Okay,
So those are my two biggest ones.
have that always been your love language from the beginning of the relationship?
No, it hasn't.
Okay, go back.
And,
What used to be your love language?
In the beginning, it really wasn't anything because I didn't want to be in a relationship,
Mhm.
so I didn't show my feelings or anything. But I was fine with it. I was used to dealing with
She just
everybody
used me
the
for my
same
body
way,
in the
so.
beginning. That's it. She want to play, you know, she's saved and sanctified through the Holy Spirit now. But, you know, she used to just use me for my body.
I do not use to use you for your body. I liked your company, talking to you, hanging out with you. So what are your love languages?
Mine's are gifts. I love gifts.
I hate giving them.
I always been into giving to gifts. Like I'm a giver. I love giving gifts. I love receiving gifts. Just recently, I'm getting into affection to where I want to be around. I want to kind of have that close knit relationship. I want to be touched and stuff like that. But early on in the relationship, early on period in my life, I wasn't into being touched or being none of that stuff. Like if it wasn't leading to sex, I didn't need the affection. He can put him down. He's all making noise in the way, trying to steal the show. Yeah, if it didn't lead to sex or lead to something like that, I didn't really need to be touched or the affection and stuff like that. So, how many is it? What is it? So affection,
5.
gifts. You know all 5.
Affection, gifts, spending time, acts of service.
Okay, I'm acts of service also.
Oh yes, and affirmation.
I don't need affirmation at all. Your affirmation too, though. You didn't say affirmation, but your affirmation. So if she do something around the house and I don't mention it or
No,
acknowledge
no,
it,
no, 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 no. I don't need that.
that's not true.
No, I just need you to acknowledge I did something. So when we have a little argument, you didn't do anything around the house. You know that something was done.
But
I need you to acknowledge it.
that's affirmation.
No, but I don't care. I don't need a round of applause. I know in myself I did a good job.
But you need acknowledgement. You need me to.
No, I need you to acknowledge. So when we do have these little arguments, these little discussions, that it's noted that I did do something for the day.
Okay, gotcha.
I don't need a high five for it though.
By
at
definition,
all.
is that not affirmation?
No, it's not.
What is that? Just acknowledgement?
No, just acknowledgement on your behalf, not mine. I know I did it. I know I did a good job.
I'm so confused. Viewers, help me understand. If she needs to be acknowledged that she did something,
No.
is that not affirmation? If it's not, then maybe I apologize if I'm wrong. But affirmation, I don't need. I'm gonna do whatever I want to do, and I don't need to be high five spoken about. I don't even need to be acknowledged about it. I'm gonna do it because I want to do it because I want to feel good when I do something. I don't care if you notice it or don't notice it. I do like gifts, and I do like acts of service. So I'd rather you do something for me the first time I ask. Though. If I ask you something and you snarl at it or give me a little indication that you don't want to do it, I don't want it done anymore. Instantly, I am a very stubborn person. If I feel like you don't want to help me, then I don't want your help. Right?
Right.
Okay. So I don't know if that's a love language or that if you want to add number 6 or something like that. You know, if maybe that's an acts of service, I guess.
No, that sounds fine. Yeah.
Okay, then acts of
It's
service.
It's a love language.
Okay, now you wrote what?
You wanna
Okay,
do
so
that?
so that's our 5 love language. We ran through race, kids, background, finances, and love. So you guys can sit and talk with each other at home, break down how your race was. I mean, what's the difference? If we got any interracial couples in the house, even if we got the same race couples in the house, because dealing with somebody who's the same race is just as hard as if somebody who's interracial. You guys have different things you're gonna be dealing with back and forth.
Different backgrounds, yeah.
So kids, if you have kids, please let us know how many kids you have in the comments. Your background. If your background is wild like mine's or clean slate like hers, please pick a side. Are you Team Ty or Team Fatima? You know, finances. Who's the spender? Who's the saver? She's the saver. I'm the spender. But right now, we kind of both on the same saving. Like I don't really spend money anymore. I just kind of slowed all the way down with that. The more kids we have, the less I spend. And then your 5 love languages. So that's, I don't know if those love languages are real. I don't know if that stuff matters or not, but
it does
to
matter.
some people do.
It does. It matters to everybody.
It matters to me as much as the zodiac sign.
That's how you want it to be. No, but that's how you want to be loved. That's how you accept love, receive love.
Yeah.
Want to be loved.
So is there any love language that's compatible to the other? Like should any 2 love languages be with another 2 love languages person?
I mean, everybody has different ones. I mean, we're clearly opposites.
Yeah.
So, but talking about it and knowing that makes it a lot easier than you trying to figure out. Like, I know he likes gifts and acts of service. I don't see why that is how anybody feels loved that way, but he does. Because I don't want that. I don't need that. But I see that he needs that. So I know I have to do that to show him I love him. But to me, it's, okay, I buy you a gift, I can go buy myself my own gift. I don't need you to buy me a gift. Like, he loves buying me shoes. I don't need any darn shoes anymore.
No. What I love buying her is heels that she doesn't wear. So that's different from just buying shoes. I buy shoes, true. She has all the Jordans, all the tennis shoes in the world that she doesn't wear. She walks around with these white, dirty Crocs all the time. That's the worst shoes you can ever buy in your life. Then she also walks around in these super, super old lady woven decks that look like they've been through World War III.
They're just so comfortable.
They're just terrible. If you're 60 and over, you should wear them. If you anywhere near 20, 30, 40, 50, you should not wear them. And she wears them all the time.
They're comfortable. I like them. They go with a lot of my stuff.
No, I don't think that's appropriate. Especially when she got Jordans upstairs that nobody has, shoes that people will get their life for that she doesn't want to wear. But, I digress.
Yes.
So, last episode, we had one of our favorite listeners chime in and ask a question, and his question was, how do you demonstrate true forgiveness? Now, I really don't want to answer this question right now because I think we should do a whole episode with answering that question, but if you don't mind just diving into it a little bit, because I can't answer this question at all. I'm not forgiving. I'm a petty, like I told you before, I'm a petty, stubborn person. So forgiveness for me is not something I do well. So I'll let the angel of my life speak to that. If you can just make it quick and condensed, because I think we should cover it in a whole other episode. But if you want to give it a quick shot, you can go ahead.
Let's see. And true forgiveness is really it is the hardest thing to do because you have to let go of the offense. You have to.
Well, put it on the table. What was the offense?
You have to.
What was the offense? Don't sugarcoat it. Take your 5 minutes.
Briefly.
Yeah, put it on the table.
Briefly,
How much time you got? How much time you got? You got time?
Video. No, we don't have that much time.
Okay, go ahead. Speak your piece. Go ahead. Put it on the table a little bit. We can get into the next week.
It's been infidelity in this marriage by this young man right here.
Uh-huh.
And that was extremely, extremely hard for me to try to forgive. Because I was really at a point where I was done with the marriage. I was fine walking away, never looking at him again, didn't want anything to do with him, and I would have been happy for the rest of my life.
And this is before the kids or after the kids? So they clear, because you can't just say walk away and you got kids. Remember you said.
Which time? Which time?
You speaking. I'm just asking questions.
It was before the
Old
kids.
stuff. Old, long time ago. But go ahead. Speak
It's been before the kids. It was after the kids. So it's been a few times I've had to forgive this dude.
Mm-hmm. I have apologized. Let me apologize on camera. I'm sorry.
It's been hard.
I apologize.
It's been really hard, but we've been able to work through it. Again, it was my decision at the end of the day to continue on with the marriage. I definitely think that you should forgive. You have to forgive for you to move on. As painful as it is, I mean, you have to let go and move on. So I made the decision to to really forget about it. I mean, you can't keep bringing up the offense. You can't keep talking about it, referencing, because clearly you haven't gotten over it. Now, I will say from time to time I joke about it, but there was a point in time where I couldn't even joke about it. Like, just the thought of it would like enrage me, and I just wanted to throw a vase or something at him. Now I'm
She's
not.
stone stuff before.
I'm not. No.
I'm
Now
sorry.
I'm not there.
Different episode.
I can joke about it and be okay with it. Like, I
Mhm.
think it's funny now. I think we're on a clean slate. I mean, I had to.
That's hold on. That's a lot to unpack. You say you think it's funny now. Like, so how can you? No, for real. So just for viewers, they don't know enough about us to figure out why you find it funny. So for females watching, they're dealing with that in a relationship right now, and her boyfriend, husband, friend, whatever, has cheated on her, and she's found out, and she know that it's true. How can she go from the point she's at right now to the stage you are right now, saying that you find it funny? Like, that's a big jump from ready to kill someone to now you find it funny.
And I agree. I agree it is. I mean, there have been points. I mean, when you first find out, you feel horrible, you feel betrayed, you feel loss of trust. It's just so many feelings. But like I said, the process of forgiveness has really, it was long, it was hard, and having to remind myself, okay, in order to show true forgiveness, I have to let it go. I have to let it go. I have to see that he truly wants to work this out, that he's truly sorry for what he did, and it's taken time. It's not like I woke up one morning and just forgave him and all is done, all is well. No, we had a process to go through healing, through counseling. Like, there was a whole lot, but it also is on you have to take part in it too. You have to allow to forgive that person and to let it go. And as hard as it is to let it go, because I know I now have let it go to where, okay, we'll be talking and I'll just jokingly bring it up. And I don't know how to explain it. I mean, now I think it's funny. I don't think anything of it. I just jokingly bring it up with him, and we'll just laugh about it and move on.
But I'm gonna play devil's advocate a little bit. This to kind of bring it out of you. We're gonna have to just stretch it, or we need to stop. We need to stop. How can you? Did it affect you emotionally? How did it affect you emotionally, or did it affect you physically? Like, did it bother you to the point where could you be around the person? Could you be around me? Like, how did it really affect you? What did you want to know? Like, some guys I know who even for me, I'm speaking. I'm not gonna say some guys. I'm not gonna. When we was going through our transition to go back and forth and dealing with the issue, I didn't want to tell you any details. Why would you want to know details if the goal is to get past it? Why would you ask to dig deep into it first before you got over it, or before you was able to kind of get through it? Why? What's the? Because vice versa, as a guy, me as a guy, and you guys speak for yourselves, I don't want to know anything. If I'm fighting to get over it, then I don't want any details, any information at all. I just want to block it out of my mind. But you wanted to dive into it and kind of hash it out. Why was that the?
I mean, I guess at that time it was just I wanted to know where I messed up, what I didn't do and they did to
Why
get
would you
to
assume it
that
was something
point.
you did instead
I mean,
of
because that's just how
the flaws of
just
me?
how you feel as a human. It's
Okay.
like what didn't I do that you had to go out the marriage to get? Like,
Got it. Okay.
what was wrong with me?
But you understood it was nothing you did, right?
Well, I understand that now.
Okay.
At that point in time, absolutely not.
Okay, got it.
But I get it now.
Okay, so we might need to cut this off now and then go. I'm fine with. So only reason we can have these conversations now, the key points of all this is that my behavior then is nowhere near my behavior now. So it's not just about having a conversation and getting through it.
Saying you're sorry.
Yeah, saying you're sorry. It's an actual, consistent, day by day getting berated, cussed out, talked to sideways, getting treated like a dog, and almost letting her get all she was feeling out of her system to prove that I was actually sorry and was trying to work into forgiveness and being forgiven. So a lot of the work was on her, allowing me to stay around, stay in a relationship and try to figure it out. But some of the work is for the male in the situation, especially for me, was to be reminded of your failures, Be reminded of that hurt you caused, the woman you so-called you say you love, your risk that you took to lose your family, all those things that she can now throw in my face every day, and I can't catch an attitude about it because I'm the reason that she's able to do it because of decisions I made, and that was a very, very, very hard thing to deal with. To be told every day you are a terrible human being, you're a terrible husband, terrible father, because you made a decision and you try to put all this at risk for something you wanted to do in the moment, and there's absolutely nothing you can say to come back at it because you made the decision to do what you did to, go against your vows, go against what you chose to do in your marriage, the commitment you made to break all that, and then ask for forgiveness like you deserve it, which you don't. So we can dig deeper into that in another episode, which is next week, next Thursday. So if you want to hear all the gushy details,
keep listening. You have to subscribe.
You want to hear information, so subscribe, leave a comment. If you have questions for her on her end, if you have questions for me and mine, which I hope you don't, most of the questions should be for her, because like I say, I don't really have, only thing I can tell the guys is that suck it up, do a push-up. Because if you're wrong and you hurt someone, then you deserve all you're getting. And if you want to stay in a relationship and you want to fix your family and fix your household, then you got to take all those punches in the face and smile and come back the next day and say, hit me again. So, subscribe, like, comment, say what you need to say, do what you need to do. If you want to fix your marriage or relationship, stay focused, give 100%, and through hell and high water, the nights are here for you.
Till next time.